We're live on Joy 99.7 FM here in Accra and Kumasi. We are on Love 99.5 FM affiliate across Ghana's 16 regions. We are on Amenuveve FM in Apawu, Kekeli Radio in Ho. We are on Radio Pando in Pando, Radio Justice in Tamale. The Midday News is sponsored by Petrol Sol. Your clean fuel in full quantity. Petrol Sol is always a delightful experience. Also brought to you by Duraplus Ghana Limited, producers of quality PVC and HDP pipes and water tank. The only water storage tank with a level indicator where Duraplus goes. Water always flows. This afternoon, unstable internet connectivity continues to bite hard, forcing universities to cancel online assessment and lectures, with importers also experiencing delays in clearing of goods.
I would rather call for a plan B, if that is going to be, because people have already suffered. They could not clear their cargo since Thursday up to today.
Already, the NCA says it will take about 5 weeks for the situation to be resolved. We'll also get to hear from Communications Minister Eslo Owusu as he prepares to face Parliament with explanations on the situation also this afternoon.
And if we don't go on that medication, if you run out, pregnant women will transmit HIV to their children. All the gains that we have made, there will be more new infections.
Antiretroviral drugs are running out in Ghana as health officials begin rationing HIV medications. We find out the truth in claims that HIV medications worth $18 million procured to deal with the supply challenges have gone missing. Also this afternoon, civil society groups are urging school authorities to speak up about the intermittent food supply situation in senior high schools. We have details on the situation following Joy News expose on the free SHS policy. Also, the situation appears unending as parents further review precarious situation their children are going through at their schools.
Brought us the bags of rice, cooked as for us. And they've written on the bag, poultry feed. There should be an arrangement so that the local people will supply what they have to ease the pressure on them. Just fast forward when this Ramadan was coming. We have to cook banku and send to school for our brothers.
We have sports.
Ghana's national record holder Benjamin Azamati and two others qualify for the semi-finals of the men's 100-meter event in athletics at the African Games.
And much later.
I learned a lot of things.
I had some good banku and an innocent tilapia.
Hey! I'm really enjoying myself. Right from the Ebri, the waterfalls. I've been a very
We'll tell you how it all went down as excitement fills the air at Joy FM's Eastern Camp Adventure Tour. We'll get to hear the story of our oldest adventurer who is 74 years old. That's and more in this afternoon's edition of the Midday News. I am Emefa Apawu. Many thanks for your company. We settle for the details now. And interruptions in internet connectivity continues to bite hard, forcing the University of Ghana to cancel the interim assessment for online students. Our sources also indicate online lectures have also been suspended until further notice. For 5 days, internet service provider are still struggling to fully restore services when undersea fiber optic cables were disrupted last Thursday. The NCA indicates telecommunication engineers are working to restore the damaged cables, but until then, institutions heavily reliant on the internet are losing out. Joining us has cited a notice from online lectures, 2 students suspending their assessment. Mamiesi joins me in studio with details. This is from the University of Ghana.
Indeed, Emefa, and what it says is that dear students, due to the internet connectivity issues being currently experienced, the IA will not be held as scheduled on March 16th to March 17th. Will monitor the situation and announce a new date during the course of the week. Kind regards, INFS lecturers. And we're also picking up that their lectures have also been suspended until further notice, Emefa.
Okay, well, that's the situation in some universities. This one in particular with the University of Ghana. Well, it's not just the universities that are bearing the brunt of the disruption in the internet connectivity. At the Tetteh port, importers and freight forwarders are demanding alternative to the challenges they are facing taking out or clearing their goods. Co-chairperson of the Technical Committee of the Tetteh District Ghana Institute of Freight Forwarders, GIFF, Paulina Brakwa, explains the impact on their business.
Most of the service providers resorted to, especially the shipping lines, resorted to manual means of releasing our consignments. One area that was really bad was the banks, where we were unable to pay duty, at least as of Friday. Okay, so once you are not able to pay, you cannot continue with the rest of the processes. And so, as of this morning, we are still monitoring the situation to see whether, the banks have found an alternative for us to be able to pay the duty. But for this morning, we envision that since the announcement has come that we are going to be in this for the next 5 weeks, I'm sure that most of the service providers will find a way to alleviate any delays that will come, and for which reason there will be things like the demurrages and the rent and the rest. So this morning we are monitoring the situations, particularly with the banks and then with the terminals and then the lines. There are at least alternative, so-called like permanent kind of alternative for the next 5 weeks. A loss in terms of increments in the cost of doing business. Okay, because every delay you have a ripple effect. So at the ports, you are likely to bear demurrages, rent, and storage. And then we are hoping that with the situation, at least some of the service providers like the shipping lines, the terminals will be considerate, okay, and then waive any extra charge that will, or any delays, the cost related to any delays that will occur. And it's something that we are hoping that the Ghana Shippers Authority would take the lead in this and ensure that traders or importers don't really have to suffer to pay demurrages as a result of this general internet bit.
Well, we can hear from the Executive Secretary of the Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana, Samson Saki Awingo Betty, says the economic management team must immediately come up with a plan B to ensure importers do not suffer.
The impact is going to be huge, so I would rather call for a plan B. If that is going to be because the people have already suffered, they could not clear their cargo since Thursday up to today. If today the system is not working as it's supposed to be, I expect I expect shipping lines, I expect terminal operators to have a manual way so that when the system is back fully, they can feed to the system. There's a need. So for that matter, maybe EMT, Economic Management Team, must meet and come out with and give us modalities so that the port can take that plan B to work.
That's Executive Secretary of the Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana, Samson and Saki Awingo Bit. We've been hearing from the NCA about the weeks that they'll be using to fix this. It's expected to be fixed in the next 5 weeks. Well, the Minister for Communication, Eslo Uswekofole, is expected to brief Parliament on the latest about this situation. Kweku Asante, our Parliamentary Affairs correspondent, joins us on the line. We have details. What exactly is happening in Parliament? Has the Minister appeared?
Emefa, high anticipation in the House because MPs are gravely affected by this situation. Last week, they raised those concerns. Even in Parliament itself, the internet situation hasn't normalized so much. And so MPs are expecting that the Minister will brief the House on the stopgap measures the state is putting in to be able to increase internet connectivity. But we understand the Minister is attending an AI conference with the IMF boss who's in town. Because of that, she is not yet in Parliament, but proceedings has already begun. And we expect that she will respond to the specific questions that MPs on this specific situation and what exactly government is doing to fix it.
And I'm sure you've been interacting with members of the Communications Committee of Parliament. Do they have any wind on where exactly we are in terms of fixing the situation?
Well, it is a lot of frustration for a lot of them because they believe that in the communications that the NC have been putting out, they've not provided such adequate information to the public on what government is doing to fix the situation. And they themselves in Parliament, they expect that at least being on the Communications Committee, they would have had some briefing on this situation, but they don't have anything on that at all. And so they expect that when the minister come in, that will be an avenue after the statement has been delivered, then they can pose some questions and make their own contributions.
That's my colleague Kweku Asante will be following the situation in Parliament for you. Now let's turn our attention to other stories, and the International Monetary Fund is warning Ghana's $3 billion bailout package may be in jeopardy if the country fails to get a fair restructuring deal with Eurobond holders. Ghana's Finance Ministry has had a tough journey forcing through a domestic restructuring program which was widely criticized by all stakeholders. Hope were high that the country would have a smooth sailing after it secured a creditor assurance from the Official Creditor Committee, which includes China. However, in a meeting with President Akufo-Addo during an official visit to Ghana, Managing Director of the International Monetary Fund, Kristalina Georgieva, says Ghana may suffer a severe setback similar to the case in Zambia, where they have difficulties in unlocking the full bailout package. We can listen to her.
We are incredibly fortunate to meet at a time that would be quite decisive for years to come, because we are climbing a mountain and we are doing quite well. We are not yet at the top. We need to keep climbing. I can get into the technicalities of the climb, like we need a fiscal council, we need an anchor, so there is radiation of responsibility. We need to complete with the private creditors, with Eurobond creditors, but complete defending the interests of the country. I heard a bit of discussion around the sooner we do it, the better for the country. The sooner we do a great deal, the better for the country. To do a deal that may actually reverse progress, it's not going to be good for the country. You cannot allow the Eurobond creditors to twist your arm. Why? Because you have done a very painful domestic debt restructuring. It hurt people here. You have agreed on, in principle, on debt restructuring with the official creditors of Ghana under certain conditions. The deal with the Eurobond has to be a fair deal vis-a-vis those that are already done. Otherwise, we risk to see what happened in Zambia, where the deal was almost, in October I thought that the deal is done. Then the private sector twisted Zambia's arm, and they tried to give them a better deal than the official creditors had. The official creditors put their foot down, and Zambia lost a lot of time. So that is my reflection. Critical time, close to the top. We still need to do a bit of climbing.
That's Kristalina Gogiva there in that meeting with President Akufo-Addo over the weekend. Now let's catch up with Digitalisation and Communications Minister Esther Usu-Ekufo. She's maintained that current internet disruptions makes a case for more investment in the sector, especially when it comes to new technologies. The minister argued that satellite may be the way to go in building the required backups. The minister was participating in IMF Ministry of Finance Conference of Artificial Intelligence in Accra. Well, my colleague George Yafe is monitoring that for us, joins us on the line. So let's talk about what else the minister said about fixing the current problem now.
So, Emefa, after that event, we had to have a quick one-on-one in terms of what is being done now. The minister doesn't want to be specific on those fine details because usually he has not that she has told the story that she's going to brief Parliament. But she insisted that there have been some engagement that is going on with the mobile operators, with the service provider. And that is why, as we speak right now, compared to last week, there is some level of improvement in terms of the offering. Whilst they also wait for the service provider, that is the subsea cable landing firms, to work on that, there are other things that are going on that the regulator is working that could see the situation improve earlier than what they have been projected. So she insists that even though those fine details are not out yet, things are being worked on. The regulators are kind of tweaking some of the regulations that could give room for all these things to be corrected. So the assurance is that we will see some improved situation in the coming days before. It won't be like first, but it will be better than what we experienced last week at the front. And this was the subject. They also mentioned the AI policy that is currently before Cabinet. It's been put together. In the coming days, the see Cabinet approved that would go a long way to deal with the current challenges that we are having with AI and what to be the country's position on AI, especially when it comes to ethical regulation and how government can use AI to also turn around the economy as well.
Okay, that's Joy Business Editor George Riafe there giving us update on that meeting between the Finance Ministry and the Communications Ministry. Now, persons living with HIV in Ghana say they are their wit ends as health officials begin rationing antiretroviral drugs meant to sustain them. Joy News understands the medications are fast running out and should completely run out by May this year. According to Mrs. Ayer, consignment of ARVs procured by the Health Ministry cannot be traced. raising suspicion it may have gone missing. LCI is president of the National Association of Persons Living with HIV.
Yes, we have commodities stuck at the ports. They are mainly malaria commodities that had arrived last year from May and which were supposed to have been distributed free to Ghanaians before the rainy season this year. You know, the malaria incidence is higher during the rainy season. Those were there, the bed nets to be distributed, the test kits to test for malaria before being put on treatment. Those are all that are stuck there. And then injections. When, you know, sometimes you are given the medication, the tablets, but then when the quantity of the MPs are so high, then you are giving injections. Those injections are also stuck at the ports. So that is for malaria. And the 200 containers stuck at the harbor contain mainly malaria commodities. Now to come to HIV. We had some stockouts last year, and we had some ARVs that came in October, thanks to your support, also the media, pushing our issue to the fore. We had some, and then we had the information also that some had been procured by the government, and that's through Ministry of Health. And by the middle of December, they would arrive in the country. Either from the middle of December to the end of December, they would arrive in the country. As I sit here, those ARVs haven't arrived.
Well, let me bring in the Director General of the Ghana AIDS Commission, Dr. Stephen Tuahin. You've been hearing from LCI. She's the President of the National Association of Persons Living with HIV. We are grateful for your time, Dr. Tuahin. So we've been hearing from these persons. The concern is that they are now receiving 1 month supply instead of 3 months. It looks like there's a looming shortage when it comes to ARVs. What exactly is the situation?
Well, thanks for having me. First of all, let me clarify that rationing has not come to my attention yet. And since I heard the headlines on your news, I started looking for that information. So I won't be able to speak to it in detail at this time. So maybe in the evening I'll be able to speak to it. But however, I am also aware that we have enough drugs in the country, except that sometimes health facilities may not have adequate drugs, and they will have to make arrangements to fill the stock. And in such circumstances, they may be compelled to ration, but that may not be a general situation across the country. So once I have the details, I will come back to you.
But she gives the indication, at least from hearing Madam LCIA, she gives the indication that this is a national situation, and from what we are learning or what we are seeing on the ground, we could completely run out by May. You say that has not been brought to your attention?
No, I am aware that government procured ARVs to fill the gap at least starting from May. And if we do not receive government procured ARV, that's when we expect to have shortage. But presently, I cannot anticipate any shortage as being alleged. And so let me find the information and then speak to it specifically.
And I don't know if this information has also been brought to your attention as a commission. We're told that some medications, HIV medications, worth $18 million procured to deal with the supply challenges have also gone missing, unaccounted for. We don't know where it is.
No, not being able to account for it doesn't mean it's missing. Government was supposed to, through the Ministry of Health, was supposed to procure antiretroviral medicines. It was an arrangement between Ministry of Health and Global Fund. And we are all fully aware that those drugs should be arriving by now. Presently, the issue is is one of the top priorities being considered by the new Minister for Health. And I know he's an action man and will have it resolved as quickly as possible. Just last week, we had a meeting with the ministry together with the Global Fund on this subject matter, and the necessary actions are being taken.
Dr. Etiahine, this consignment we are talking about, Dr. Etiahine, it should have arrived in December, true?
Some should have arrived in December, but not all of it. The assurance we have is that the ministry has procured and the contractors or the suppliers will deliver.
And the assurance you can give to persons living with HIV is that the ARVs will be in supply. There's no shortage, you're saying?
Well, what I'm saying is that we should not create needless anxieties among the persons living with HIV, because I know that we have enough drugs, at least for now, up to May. And hopefully, if the ministry's commodities come in, then there will be no cause for alarm.
Dr. Etiahine, we'll leave it here for now, and definitely, as you've promised, we'll get back to you in the evening for more details on this, on what exactly you're learning, which is the situation on the ground. That's the Director General of the Ghana AIDS Commission, Dr. Stephen Tremi Etiahine, there, taking us on a quick break here on the Midday News on Joy 99.7 FM in Accra and Kumasi, on Love 99.5 FM affiliate across Ghana's 16 regions. We are also on myjoyonline.com. The Midday News is sponsored by Petrol Sol. Your clean fuel in full quantity. Petrol Sol is always a delightful experience. Also brought to you by Duraplus Ghana Limited, producers of quality PVC and HDPE pipes. And we are the only water storage tank with a level indicator. Where Duraplus goes, water always flows. We return from the break with sports, and civil society groups are urging school authorities to speak up about the intermittent food supply situation in senior high schools, as Joy News documentary Empty Plate exposes serious challenges.
I think it is unconscionable for headmasters to remain mute for these kinds of things to continue. I do not understand why Wesley girls or most of our schools should be reduced to what I call refugee status. Not that refugees are not humans.
We'll get to hear from some parents on the situation, and we'll tell you how it all went down as excitement fills the air at Joy FM's Eastern Camp Adventure Tour. We'll hear from the story of our oldest adventurer, who is 74 years old.
I learned a lot of things.
I had some good banku and an innocent tilapia.
Hey! I'm really enjoying myself. Right from the Ebri, the waterfalls.
Having a very good time.
When budgets are tight and money difficult to come by, you want to be sure you get the best value for your money. These are not times to be spending money fixing expensive engine problems because of cheap fuel and lubricants. Drive to a petrol source station today and buy your quality fuel and lubricants, and rest assured of fuel that lasts long and lubricants that prevent expensive engine problems. Hear the sound. Petrosol, clean fuel in full quantity.
Dive into a new era of news consumption with myjoyonline.com, your go-to destination for cutting-edge journalism, giving you the most credible stories from business to politics and from sports to entertainment. Myjoyonline.com introduces an upgraded news website meticulously designed to empower you with an enriched browsing experience like never before. Experience the future of news browsing with myjoyonline.com.
Thanks for staying with us. Let's do sports. Mubarak, what do we have?
So athletics began today at the African Games, and Ghana's national record holder Benjamin Azamati is through to the semi-finals of the men's 100-meter event. He won heat 5 with a time of 10.54 seconds ahead of Nigeria's Israel Ekon. Barnabas Aguirre and Ansasafo finished second and fourth respectively in their heats, but their times were sufficient to secure their progression to the next round. The president of Ghana Athletics, Bao Fuseni, has expressed confidence in his team's capability to win gold medals at the Games.
Ghana, we are ready. Athletes are ready. Our coaches are ready. Honorable Minister is ready. The LOC is ready. Ghanaians are ready. The day has arrived, and Ghana Athletics, through our athletes, we will deliver. We are not going to disappoint anybody. Come Friday, we are going to be counting our gold medals.
Yes, Emefa. So quickly before I go, South Africa, they've made a decisive move to withdraw both its men's and women's hockey teams from the African Games.
No.
They believe the Theodosia Oko hockey pitch is not deemed adequate and that their athletes could get injured, so they withdrew from the competition. Yes.
Okay. Well, the fewer the merrier. Thank you very much, Mubarak. Now, the minority on Parliament Education Committee is accusing some suppliers of buffer stock of either undersupplying or providing unwholesome foodstuff to schools across the country. Citing recent Public Interest and Accountability Committee report, ranking member Dr. Clement Apawu said the persistent challenges with the free senior high school are as a result of government's failure to address them. His comments follow a hotline documentary, Empty Plate, the free SHS promise by Joy News, that has exposed the grim nature of inadequate food in the schools. We are excerpts of that investigative piece by my colleague Tetteh.
Under the policy, residential students are supposed to benefit from 3 square meals, while non-residential ones get 1 hot meal.
In some schools, the investigative team observed that between 8 to 15 students were assigned to a table to share a meal.
The picture is no different at the Ahantaman Senior High School in the Western region. These first-year students who thronged the dining hall were expecting to be served a breakfast that was balanced in nutrition. But that isn't the case. What they had was porridge without milk and bread.
The challenge has been that my daughter is constantly complaining that the food they are fed with is not enough. I've taken the pains to also provide enough food like gari and others that she can eat from her chopbox, but it turns out that the school parents of this school have come together to get support for the school. So we contribute some amount of money. We're supposed to contribute twice in a term. That's 500 cedis for the first half, and the other half we contribute another 500 cedis.
We tried to support, but because of government initiative, it's difficult. So for me, I sometimes, let me put in quotes, smuggled food to the school for my ward.
And another concern is their food. To be frank, they are not eating any better food at all. So every time she will call, that mommy, I don't have money. The food is not enough and sometimes it's not even good. To be frank with you, this girl left home without stomach pain. But now she will call that mommy, my tummy. She has been admitted at the hospital. They did other tests, but she said the doctors are suspecting is ulcer. It is very bad. We are not saying they should not eat gari, but the gari is too much.
They are not fed properly. They are made to work like horses. Like, I don't know. In fact, I think this is the second prison yard. Even the prison, those in the prison, I don't think they go through what these girls are going through.
We can hear from some parents who phoned into the AM show this morning.
The doctor called from Wesley Girls High School, to be precise. And said, Daddy, they brought us the bags of rice, cooked as for us. And they've written on the bag, poultry feed.
They've written on the bags what?
Can you imagine?
Poultry feed. Poultry feed.
Yes. Don't be surprised at all.
Poultry feed. And so the question is, what are the headmasters doing? Are they looking on for this food to be fed to the children?
It looks like this whole issue has been going back and forth, but I believe that the media also has a role to play.
Free SHS is a very good policy. No one can deny that. But
we can now hear from Deputy Ranking Member of Parliament Education Committee, Dr. Clement Apawu.
There is a component that I can demonstrate to you where some buffer stock food suppliers, I say some, have taken advantage of the system, perhaps because of political connections, or perhaps because they know that the headmasters do not have the capacity to hold them accountable. So, for example, a school is expected to have maybe 50 bags of gari. We have instances where a supplier would supply them with only 20 bags of gari. And when the headmaster tries to raise concerns, you are shut down.
We can now hear from the founding president of Imani Center for Policy and Education, Franklin Kujo. He wants heads of schools to begin speaking out to save the situation.
I thought that for a policy that was hugely successful as an election winner, and even from this first, even if the branding stages, you were paying fees. What did you miss when it comes to just taking stock and listening to what people are saying? That's what I'm saying, that they are victims of their own success. Having said so, I think it is unconscionable for headmasters to remain mute.
That's the situation on the Free SHS Promise Empty Plate will be airing this evening at 8:30 p.m. on the Joy News channel. You can't miss it. And did you miss the Joy FM Eastern Camp Adventure? Oh, well, you missed out a lot. Maxwell Abwegwa has more.
Scores of our patrons are circling a bonfire and singing Jama songs. Saturday night turned into Sunday morning, filled with dance competitions, quizzes about Ghana, plus fun challenges. Many of them won beautiful wooden fabrics as prizes. Meet retired librarian and the oldest member of the group, Mary Akofu. She's 74. She's one of the people taking part in the Jama session. She says Joy FM's credibility as a media house is the reason she does not miss any event organized by the station.
They run different programs that I like, and when there is news breakout, Joy will be the first. And when you hear news on Joy, it is the truth.
Definitely, and that's how we end today's edition of the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM. Hello, valued customer. We'd like to express our gratitude to you for your patience and understanding during the ongoing network disruptions. We are happy to inform you that we have secured additional capacity from our international partners, which has resulted in an improvement in your data experience. We understand the inconvenience the current situation may have caused you and assure you that we are working hard to resolve this issue as soon as practicable. Rest assured that we are exploring all options to ease your data challenges. We'll continue to keep you updated as we make further progress towards full restoration of services. Thank you. That's from MTN. There's more when you log on to myjoyonline.com. I am Emefa Apawu. Living Word with Pastor Mensa Otabil is up next. Have a good afternoon.
Imagine strutting into the most anticipated wedding of the year, only to see 7 other girls wearing your exact same outfit.
You are special and one of a kind, and that's why whether it's voice, data or SMS, you get to enjoy personalized offers tailored to your specific needs with MTN just for you. Dial *141# or select your options on the My MTN app to redeem your unique just for you package on Ghana's best mobile network. MTN.
We know the dream is big. We know the passion gets you going. And you have the potential to make great strides. The Chartered Institute of Marketing, Ghana, has always been an avid supporter of industry excellence and innovation. This is why we are excited to announce the CIMG Professional Marketing Qualifications. CIMG has designed practical courses to help you make that dream a reality right here in Ghana. We are geared up and ready to support you on this journey to becoming a world-class professional marketer. Register today and be on your way to greatness. For more information, call us on 055-274-6592. Visit our website www.cimghana.org or email us on info@cimghana.org. Chartered Institute of Marketing Ghana, working for Ghana.
Our football fans wanted more, and Sporty TV is here on a new HD Plus channel to give you football and more. See selected weekly fixtures from the EPL, Bundesliga, Serie A, Saudi Pro League, Spanish Super Cup, DFB Pokal, EFL, and so much more in HD quality pictures on Sporty TV channel 152. The football you care about is here in HD. Subscribe for 12 months at 290 Ghana cedis only. Call 0242 439872 for more information. HD Plus. See it, feel it.
Ago, mi here nya wawa tu, kemba Ghana nyon ye joy. Akwabo.
Miawezo.
Mama wana Akwabo.
Barka da zuwan watan kasan Ghana a nan gidan Radio Joy.
Obenim busumi eye Ghana busumi.
Miawezo over Ghana month Jilla Joy 99.7 FM.
Akwaba eba Ghana month on Joy.
Mimabe Akwaba, what Ghana siani lile yazu, what joy. We invite all of you to join us this March as we celebrate Ghana here on Joy 99.7 FM.
During this Ghana month, you will be treated to our history, tourism, arts and culture,
our music, our food, language, beliefs, and all that makes us unique as a people.
Right here on Joy 99.7 FM. You'll also get to tell us stories about your region, town, or village and why we should make it a destination.
Celebrating our uniqueness as a people.
Ghana Month on Joy FM.
Ghana Month on Joy.
Ghana Month on Joy.
Ghana Month on Joy.
Ghana Month on Joy is brought to you by Dodi World. Dream, discover, explore, and Woodine. Step into elegance this March with Woodine by immersing yourself in the stunning mosaic collection, a true tribute to Ghana's vibrant culture. Vibe Ghana, vibe Woodine. Ghana Month on Joy, joyously Ghanaian.
Ghana, we now have freedom.
Bringing hope to many around the globe, transforming lives into legacies. Living Word with Pastor Mensa Otabil. And now, today's word.
Now, there are people who believe that when a person dies, he will come again. And unfortunately, there are many Christians who believe that. They believe, when I die, I will come the next time I come. Next time, you're not coming anywhere. That's what Nicodemus is asking. Well, this born again, does it mean I go back to my mother's womb or some other woman's womb and be born again as a baby again? Jesus says, no. It is brand new. It is not you recycled. It is not the recycling of you. You are bad. If you are recycled, you'll be bad. If you are sinful and you are recycled, you'll be sinful. Some people say, well, you'll be recycled, you'll be a goat, or you'll be a lion, or you'll be a cockroach. You'll be a bad goat, a bad lion, a bad cockroach. It is a new birth. Everybody say new birth. When a person is born again, he experiences new life. A brand new person is delivered. It's not the old recycled. It's not Mensa Otabil renovated. It's a new person, a new spirit, a new heart. I'm a brand new person. The spirit I have in me and you have in you is not what you had when you were born into this world the first time. What you have now is brand new. You are a brand new man, a new creation. The new creation experiences a second birth. He experiences that second birth is a new birth, and that new birth is in the spirit. It is not physical, and it is not metaphorical. It's not a figure of speech. Some people say, well, Jesus meant it means that you have a new experience, a second chance. No, it means it is a spiritual reality. It's a reality. That which is born of the flesh is flesh. That which is born of the spirit is spirit. In Christ, I am a new creation. In Christ, you are a new creation. Old things have passed away, and all things have become new. From the day you got born again, God starts to relate to you on only one level, after the Spirit.